global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Ever since Fubara have been quiet over the gbasgbos, the FCT minister Wike and his loyalists have been given to him, it has generated not just quiet observers but quiet supporters and even open followership, to the extent that strong men, able men, and even men of timber and caliber, politicians alike, have decided to speak. But this time around, it looks as if they have taken the bite from Fubara and they're taking it on to Wike. Well, before we go to newspaper to find out exactly what they're telling Wike is getting quite interesting, I must tell you that now Nigerians are fully involved. Would like to subscribe to our channel. Click on the red. According to the news, Chizenye, the President General of the Initiative for Transparent Strategy and Good Leadership, has raised alarms over the escalating political tensions between the Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister Wike and Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara. Now, Anyi has drawn troubling comparisons between Wike's current behavior towards Fubara and his previous conflicts with former Rivers Governor Rotimi Amechi, suggesting that Wike may be repeating a pattern of undermining political leaders he once worked with. Now, in a detailed interview, Anya expressed concern over Wike's recent actions and public statements, which he believes could further destabilize the political landscape in Rivers State. Now, the political analyst pointed out that Wike's rhetoric, which questions the longevity of Fubara's tenure as governor, mirrors the antagonistic approach he took towards Amechi during their time in office. Now, according to Anyi, this ongoing power struggle between Wike and Fubara could have far-reaching consequences for the governance of Rivers State. Now, Anyi specifically referenced recent comments made by Wike, who publicly stated that he was uncertain whether Fubara would remain governor until 2027. For Anyi, such remarks coming from a senior federal minister, particularly one from the same state, are highly inappropriate and potentially damaging. It is deeply troubling for a federal minister to publicly cast doubt on the tenure of a sitting state governor, especially when both individuals are supposed to be working in the best interest of the people. And he said, and I quote him, he emphasized that such statements from Wike could create political instability and erode public trust in the leadership of Rivers State. The political observer also expressed his surprise that Wike, as a member of the federal cabinet, would publicly challenge Fubara's authority in this manner. Now, Anyi argued that the federal minister should be working to support state-level leadership rather than engaging in actions that might fuel division. What Wike is doing goes beyond political disagreement. It's an attempt to destabilize the leadership in Rivers State, and that is something no Nigerian official should be condoning, especially when the person involved is from the same state, he stated. Further adding to his concern, Anyi noted that the presidency's lack of response to Wike's remarks. He criticized the federal government's silence on the issue, suggesting that it could be interpreted as tacit approval of Wike's action, and the president has remained silent on this matter, and this lack of action speaks volumes. And he said, by not addressing this action or situation, the federal government is allowing a federal minister to undermine a state governor, which could set a dangerous precedent for other states in the country. Anyi strongly believes that the presidency must take action to address this issue and send a clear message that federal officials cannot interfere with or even undermine state governance. It is important that the presidency intervenes and ensures that federal ministers respect the autonomy of state governments, he argued. Allowing ministers to engage in conduct that disrupt the smooth functioning of state administrations could lead to more instability and conflict across the country. In his broader analysis of the political climate, Anyi emphasized the importance of transparency, good leadership, and clear boundaries between federal and state authority. He called for greater accountability in Nigerian politics, urging the presidency to take steps to ensure that political conduct at all levels of government aligns with democratic principles and the rule of law. The presidency needs to set clear limits on the actions of federal officials, especially when it comes to interfering with state government. And he continued, federal ministers should not be allowed to create political chaos in states, especially when it is not in the best interest of the people they are meant to serve. Now, Anyi concluded by expressing his hope that the presidency would act swiftly to address the growing tensions between Wike and Fubara. He stressed that the stability of Rivers State as well as the integrity of Nigeria's democratic institutions depend on maintaining a respectful and cooperative relationship between state and federal authorities. I hope that the presidency will take decisive action to prevent further escalation and ensure that state leaders can govern without undue interference from federal officials, he said. The growing tension between the two political figures is already a major talking point in Rivers State, with some questioning whether Wike's actions are motivated by personal ambition or a genuine desire to improve governance. Regardless of the underlying reasons, Anyi's concern reflects the larger challenge of maintaining political harmony in Nigeria's complex federal system, where the actions of federal ministers can have a profound impact on state-level governance. Those are the words of Anyi, Chizi Anyi. My colleague is in the house. You heard what he said. What's your take? Do you think that it could be that Nyesom Wike actually wants good governance? That's probably why he's, antagonizing, quote-unquote, his successor to give better governance to Rivers State, better than he did? Or do you think it's just pure, plain ambition, personal ambition for Wike?
Wike has never said, I want good governance for the people of Rivers State. He has never made mention. His own is Iyendeba.
But it's good governance now. Give this one some. You give the other ones.
I agree with. He's not talking about that one. He's not talking about, not just like some of our pastors are playing around with prosperity message, whereby some things that God is talking this way, they're talking this way just to reap. But Wike is not talking about good, not talking give to these people. Let me give to them. He's Iyendeba. I give to you, you give to me. So that is it. I gave you structure, you maintain the structure under me. You allow me to control things. He has no business with good governance. After all, the people that he gave to the person of Rivers State Governor, Sim Fubara, to be his commissioner, all of them were there to checkmate him. Legislature been too plenty for Fubara time. Because all the commissioners were all legislature, they were checkmating the executive. Oga say you shouldn't sign it. So he came out very clear. Though most of the time people seems to wonder, Wike is not at the form. Why are people talking about him? We all know that he's the one behind all of this. You wouldn't see his name among those who are running to the court for anything. But come on, everybody knows he's the one behind it. And then on the issue of the federal minister being warned not to intervene on state issues, it's going to be difficult. Reason being that the president, who is APC, is already very old. The man is old. There's some of the dirty deals of trying to secure support from the state, which he cannot do. So he needs all those down generals, to help him secure it. So whatever Wike is doing is none of his business. Ogashi, you say 2027. All of this is a process towards ensuring that I have Rivers State and Abuja for keeps for you. So you must give me all the required support. That's why we are watching him. He's not responding to it. Now look at the issue of the minor. Issue of those 100 and something minor who were being charged for treason and all of that. If you notice, it wasn't long enough. The president waded into the case. He gave like 2-3 days. Today, he had already given instruction that everything should be concluded. And the court has discharged and acquitted those young people. Just to show you that he hears. Not that everybody is talking. The president is fully in the know. Bola Tinubu is fully in the know about what is going on, but he doesn't want to meddle into it because whatever that is going on is for his own personal good, his own political good. So, Wike, as much as you can get a hold of Rivers State and have it for keeps for me, do it. You have all the things on ground. He may not come out to say it, but his quietness, that's what his quietness actually means. He has a lot of things to face as issues at the federal level. Economy is nosediving. Atiku Abubakar is holding him by the neck. So many things for him to handle. If you notice, fairly recently, Atiku Abubakar has been on the neck of the presidency like every time. Even anybody who comes to salvage the president, you see him going after him. They talked about fairly recently the issue of the prayer that they are going to pray for hardship to go away. Atiku Abubakar said that that's the only economic policy that the president has brought forth in the midst of hardship, So he's now trying to pray it away instead of working hard and all of that. So he realized the president has a lot of things in his hand. So whoever that is trying to help him handle certain things just to present him a better candidate by 2027, come on, I'm there. I'm supporting you. I'm giving you the go ahead. You have all the agencies to work with. So talking to the president right now will not work. The only thing Nigerians are crying so much and expecting he should salvage the situation in Rivers State is the judiciary. But unfortunately, the judiciary seems not to understand that this season we are in will one day pass, and we will look them at the face and say, you guys fail a great deal, and we have little or no respect for you. So Nigerians are hoping that come, when the Supreme Court will be sitting on this issue, at least they should be able to make reference to, the Constitution and give Nigeria that respectable judgment that we all deserve, especially as it has to do with Rivers State. But right now, thinking that the president was going to do anything about it, call Wike to order, we are just joking, because from Wike had possibly made, this one is an assumption, but I believe based on the thing that he has said thus far, I believe he has made two strong promises to the president as it has to do with his being re-elected in 2027. Oga, I'm going to deliver Rivers State and Abuja. And I'm sure he told, when it was talking, when he had crisis with that lady, King Gibe, lady senator, King Gibe, he said it, that it was because I was not around, that was why he could just take it like that. Now that we are in Abuja, let us see how they will come and take it. So just to show you that, come on, Oga, I'm going to deliver this to you. So that's why when people were saying that he was going to hoist out Wike from the ministerial state, I was just laughing. It's not possible, because this is one person who is not in my party, but is working assiduously to ensure that I come back the second term, and then maybe we'll do some deal after then. That's just the situation here.
All right, we could go on and on, but that is where we are going to wrap this up.